Hello everyone, this is Dan with the Spiritual Underground Podcast. I'm coming to you from the MyPath Festival near Harrodsburg, Kentucky. This is Memorial Weekend of 2019. A friend of mine, Vlad, and I drove up here on Thursday and got here around 2 o'clock. We were some of the first people here. We spent first little while getting settled in and picking out what I believe and we believe is the best camping spot on these grounds. I think it's someplace upwards of 400 acres. Terrapin Hills Farm, I believe, is the name of it. They have a lot of festivals and it's really set up nicely. They've got a heck of a place here. Things have been going on. It's really back in, I don't know what it was, February or something, this thing come across my Facebook feed and kind of knew I was going to do it and invited somebody else to go with me and it's getting closer and the other person couldn't come. Work obligations prevented that, and Vlad was already coming, so we sold that other ticket and to somebody. This is a sold out event. They allow just a limited number of people. I think 100 tickets is how many they sell, but I think there's actually more people here than that. And so as it got closer, Vlad and I decided, and we come together. He's an accomplished backpacker and camper, and this ain't my first rodeo in that department either, so that makes it very easy to camp with a guy like that we're just kind of like one another's other hands. It works out really well. Got here and got set up and kind of waited for things. Thursday night really didn't bring much. I can't remember what we did. Oh yeah, I know what they did. They had a cacao ceremony, which is basically chocolate, but it's raw, real, bona fide chocolate from Guatemala, which I have bought a 5-pound chunk or a 1-pound chunk of. We're going to take it home and treat some people to it, but it was something else. There's something about that's different than just chocolate, and the ceremony was just really, really cool, man. It was like a 2-hour ceremony, and they served it up, and you could feel this stuff. I do have to be a little bit careful about it. I suppose it's not, obviously not a problem, but I could get to liking that stuff really well. And it did make you felt something. There was a little bit of a mood altering. I mean, kind of in the realm of coffee. This particular stuff doesn't have caffeine in it. It hasn't been crossbreeded. That's what they explained, some stuff about this, about most chocolate that is caffeinated has actually been crossbreeded with coffee. And that this stuff is not, but it's got some other chemical in it that's a mood enhancer. So we had it and prayed and sat in our mats, and we did some eye gazing, which is really, really cool, man. You get to look in the windows of somebody. Those are the windows of another person's soul. Sit and pair up with somebody you didn't know before, and I talked about this at the retreat a little bit, and we did it. My first real experience with it was at yoga teacher training, and they had to sit down. The first person you sit down with, and I don't know, I'm going to guess it was like 10 minutes of eye gazing. You were staring into somebody's eyes for a long time. It was an unreal experience, and then we actually went through and spent some time looking into everybody's eyes, eye gazing with everybody in our teacher training class. Well, here last night we just did it. We just picked somebody and did it, and I ended up getting paired up with a gal who's like the co-creator of this festival, Gabriella. She and her mother own Inner Warrior yoga studio in Louisville, Kentucky. And they were putting this on along with the hosts, the property owners. So I ended up getting paired up with her, and she's just a real gentle soul and just a beautiful girl, and inside and out. You could just feel that when you look into those eyes, and you knew that, and then we shared with one another about the feelings we had, as we talked, and I could just feel that power in her soul when we were sitting there, and she said some real touching things to me too, and it's all on the level. It's not, nothing. It's just plain people just getting to know each other better. So we did that Thursday night, and then Friday was a whole day of yoga and meditation, and we got up in the morning, did a sound immersion, which a gal here, Farron, used crystal bowls and bronze bowls and gongs and other chimes and drums to put us into a meditation where we were just immersed into sound. And that is just really, just to feel that vibration. You were laying on your mat, like we were all with her in the middle with our heads pointing towards her and our feet pointing away, and listening to that, feeling that vibration course through us. And man, and it's getting like there's been so much going on, and I'm having trouble. Like I should have like some notes about what all we've done. We've done some Hatha yoga. We've done some Kundalini yoga. I did some yin yoga. There's 4 different spots here: a pavilion, a chapel stage, a terrapin stage, and then a top of the hill. And on the top of the hill last night, we did yin yoga, and which included some acupuncture, which is something I have never done before. There's a creek that runs through the property. They're doing paddleboard, stand-up paddleboard yoga. It's another thing. Now, I've done that before, but Mimi from 502, from Endless Summer Paddleboarding, and she was also the course director and yoga teacher training, the director of the course I took. But she had her paddleboards here, and we did that. Man, what else is going on? Drumming, mindful drumming. There's vendors here. I bought some nice organic beard oil and soap, 100% natural soap, and some balm and some lip balm, and bought a few knickknacks here and there. Done a little bartering with my Om symbols. It's just really been a fantastic time. Vlad and I brought way too much food, which is fine. There's vendors here for food set up too. A lot of jewelry vendors. There's a whole set of tents down that are body work people that are doing massage and Reiki. I don't know, there's a pretty good list, and it's on the show notes, so you'll see a list of all the things that are available here this 4-day weekend. They do it in the spring and the fall. This is the 6th one, which is me being a numbers guy, it strikes me a little bit because last weekend was the 6th men's spurt retreat, spiritual underground retreat, and so this is the 6th MyPath also. So, man, what I get to do today, unreal. We get to come here last weekend, get to have that men's retreat, 32 guys sitting around a fire, everybody trying to improve quality of our lives in recovery day by day, one day at a time, and come home for a few days and turn around and come back here with Vlad, and there's quite a few other people here in recovery. We're sitting down to a dinner tonight, and that's what I'm doing right now, is just waiting in line for the dinner to chill, the big line, and I'm gonna head back down there in just a minute. But a guy sat there and he'd said they was talking about, did he feel any better because he quit eating refined sugar, and he said, well, I can't really tell because he said I made so many lifestyle changes, and he said one of them was I quit drinking, and I know I feel a lot better every morning now that I've quit drinking. So I talked to him, and he just celebrated 3 years, or I think maybe he is celebrating 3 years in July. So a lot of people here are looking to improve the quality of their lives day by day through practice of yoga and mindfulness, and just better eating and using more natural products. There was a whole thing here last night, was a open mic, and the guy gave a little talk about bees and the fact of these colony collapse disease or something like that that's killing all these honeybees. And so there's just a lot of positive things going on here, and it's just it's refreshing to have this kind of energy around rather than what I tend to find myself, or not lately, but at a point just not long ago, found myself wound up in a lot of energy that just wasn't good for my soul. This is the shit. The flip side of that is, and I don't really see a lot of people drinking here, but the marijuana is flowing heavily, and the CBD tents are up, and to each their own on all that. They can have it, but man, there's not much time when I'm not walking around and I'm not smelling it, and people are pretty well just smoking it at will out here on this piece of private property, which, again, to each their own. Cool, no matter. They got shower houses, flush toilets, creek we've been swimming in. Man, it's just endless, and just a lot of acres, and a really cool layout of the. You can tell they put a lot of work, man. They got stages set up, where and not supposedly, from what I've been understand, they also have music festivals here where they actually have bands playing on these stages. So they're kind of separated around so that they're able to like play and not interrupt one another's music, and just touch, man. So I tried to record this earlier and released it, and it didn't work. So I'm trying it again, and this is one of these podcast on the fly things, and the Anchor, my podcasting host, has this available, and I've never tried it, so I'm trying it out here. The service is kind of spotty, so here's basically the same thing I said earlier in just a few minutes less than what I read it in, or what I talked about a little while earlier. I think it ended up being like 15 minutes. So I'm gonna head back down, let this thing upload, and so as always, come out here and participate in my recovery, and I thank y'all for allowing me to participate in my recovery by putting this podcast out to the world. Thank you. Peace out.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.